jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Yo, once again, you tuned in to World Combat Sports Media, man. You know what it is. Big salute to the supporters first and foremost, man. Y'all get the first shout out. That's the way it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the ones who tune in to the channel. Pass the word. You know what I'm saying? Pass the word, man. Tell more people to tune in. We got to make that happen. Continue to grow the channel. Grow your support. And I would definitely look out for you, real talk. I mean, y'all already know what it is. It's Sunday. Of course, we have the second game of the NBA Finals. But we're going to talk about, some of the boxing events that took place, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of the matchups that took place. I want to kind of touch on David Morrell a little bit, but not right now. Primarily Devin Haney defeating George Cambozo. And what's the aftermath of it? What is the post-fight recourse? Is it going to go in line on what we initially thought, on what they told us? You know what I'm saying? About, Devin have to go back over there for a rematch? Or are we going to see Bob Arum, the triple OG in the game, switch it up and say, you know what? Forget that. We just have to get back around to Cambozo because they had to come to me. Lou DiBella had to come to me to make this happen. Your fighter didn't get it done. So bring him over here for him, Devin to fight Lomachenko. I'm pretty sure that somehow, some way, man, there's something in the contract. I don't know what it is, but I know it's some type of language in there that they ain't letting us on to, that they can switch that shit up. Now, the good part about it is that Cambozo didn't take that much damage against Devin Haney. He didn't take that much damage. You know what I'm saying? I forgot to say congratulations, Stephen Fulton, too. Cool boy Steph. Man, dude make fights look so easy, man. Shout out to cool boy Steph, from defending his titles. He's the super bantamweight unified champion, man. Shout out to Stephen Fulton. Good dude, man. Went in there and made it look easy. Andrew Charles on deck with it. WCS salute. Salute to you, Andrew. Cambozo looked like ass last night. Where was the guy who got a dog fight with Tio? Real talk, man. Where was he, man? Was he in the kennel? God damn it. Was he in the kennel? Somebody forgot to, remove the lock all the way? Did he not eat? Velocity Cuts on deck. What's good? That's dope. Zab Judah got to see his godson accomplish undisputed like he once did. Yep, different belt era, but you're right. It's a whole lot that goes into that we're going to get into. There's a whole lot to just him seeing his godson become undisputed. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more to the story. And I did a brief article on Haney's fight at worldcombatsports.com. I know I don't mention my website like that, but like I tell people, I built this by myself from the ground up, so I have everything out there that I built. I do have a website. Go out there and check the article I just wrote on Devin Haney and Cambozo. And I didn't even. It wasn't even that long. Like when I get into articles, I have a bad habit of making them too long. So this is not even that way, man. It's a pretty short article, straight to the point. From the talk I heard post fight, it didn't sound like a rematch was a sure thing. So if y'all didn't know, yesterday, man, bleeding into Sunday, Devin Haney improved his record to 28 victories, 15 defeats. 15 knockouts. 28 wins, 15 knockouts, man, 0 defeats, dog. He pretty much handed Cambozo his first loss. All right. So therefore, you're looking at the landscape of the lightweight division, man. It gets very bleak right now. You got Gervonta Davis still, holding that O, of course, pay-per-view. Then you got Devin Haney, who is considered the top lightweight right now. When you talk about credentials, Devin Haney is top lightweight. Right now he has all the belts, everything, everything. I'm talking about every lint ball, goddamn motherfucking residue, tablecloth, everything, everything. It ain't a belt out there, considered to be comparable to the super titles that you can unify with. He has every belt, y'all, to include the franchise belt. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. That's man, clap it up, dog. He solidified history in one division by doing something that hasn't even been achieved in boxing, man. It hasn't even been achieved in boxing. He did something that T.O. nor George Kambosos has been able to do. Real talk. And nor Lomachenko. And that is unified the lightweight division to include the franchise belt, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about all the belts. Part of the 4-belt era, unification. It is absolutely prestigious to even consider, the value in the fact that we was able to witness it. We was able to witness how many damn undisputed, but I'm talking about history making. Jamel Charlo was the first. You know what I'm saying? Now Devin Haney's the first. It's a lot of firsts going on. Then Shakur Stevenson may potentially, get his shit taken care of down there and get his titles. He's already unified. But all the backstory that led up to this fight, man, with Bill Haney being denied and then approved at the last fucking minute, I just felt like Team Cambozo, man, had it coming. They had it coming, and I don't think they really respected the fact that they was looking at Devin as not having power outside of him being able to box. I don't think they really had that fear factor to basically astutely go in there and study film and come up with a game plan like Team Haney did, which I don't even think the level within their camp was like that. The level of intelligence, the boxing IQ, I don't think so, because to see him go in there and get outboxed like that and then have a secondary plan of recourse to find out, how do I change this shit? How do I switch up the momentum? How do I get past what's going on? Like, I'm trying to land counter shots and they're missing badly. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I get in close, I'm trying the exact same thing I did with Teofimo Lopez. It's not working. Two different boxers. The footwork played a significant role in Haney, placing his punches and then being defensively sound and keeping that right hand up. That was important when it came to consistency for Devin Haney that benefited him. But the consistent aspect of George Kambosos just didn't make any sense. He was consistently following Devin around the ring. You know what I'm saying? He was following him around the ring. It seems like he was desperately seeking Susan. He didn't fucking know where to go. He just knew it was four corners to that thing. And sooner or later, he was going to land the shot. I bullshit you not. He didn't have any type of education as far as his curriculum. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know if chapter 1 didn't work, go to chapter 2. Chapter 2 wasn't right, go to chapter 3. It seems like they didn't have an alternative for what they was in store with. They couldn't have thought he was going to bang it out, right? Because to be honest with y'all, you can agree that I thought Devin fought George Kambosos different than he fought Jojo Diaz. That's just my opinion. I thought he fought him differently. I thought what he demonstrated last night, man, he was too sharp, man. He was too sharp, especially with the defense, man. That's crucial. Popping that jab out there, man, he was molesting George Kambosos with that jab, dog. He was molesting him with it. Every time George turned, what's that touching me? God damn, dude. What's going on? He was complaining to the ref. Can you tell him to chill with the jab, ref? God damn, bro. Like every time I turn the corner, pop, pop. He was sticking him in the head, sticking him in the body. I was like, what is he going to do? Try to counter it? It was one small frame, like once or twice in that frame where he landed the counter shot. He was trying to get Devin's timing down. So the only way you can get someone's timing down, you know, when you think they're doing the same thing, is for them to continue to do the same thing. So it seems like George Kambosos is doing that little small, very minuscule window. He was able to land the counter right hand. I think Haney felt it, and then he immediately made the change, dog. Like he said, okay, I went there too much. Let me switch it up. The curriculum was just far advanced than Team Kambosos. It was just levels above Kambosos for a 12-round fight, man. That shit was unreal. Let me get to the chat, man. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. SB90 on deck with it. Alexander on deck. Haney on top of the world, 23 years young. The future is bright. Man, you ain't never lied, right? You ain't never lied, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man. He on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Congrats to the true undisputed champion, Devin the Dream Haney. It was a joke, ESPN putting T.O. and Kambosos on that list. And see, logic? That's where certain things are not even logical anymore. You know what I'm saying? How all of a sudden you want to give company. Before you wasn't giving company. But this is a prestigious precedence in the lightweight division. All of a sudden, when Showtime put it up there, we didn't see a T.O. But I was telling people that T.O. was undisputed because of the franchise belt. And in the franchise era, him and Kambosos is undisputed. And now Devin Haney. But for them to all of a sudden insert them into the equation, come on, man. You basically almost like saying you didn't want him to just share that moment with him going on that list with all the real 4-belt era with no franchise. All of a sudden, he gets the franchise with his own belt and every other belt, ring, lineal, and all that. Now you want to throw him in there in the company of T.O. and Kambosos. Man, come on, bro. That's once again the hocus pocus shit that goes on with boxing, man. That shit was hocus pocus, dog. He should have deserved the right to go on that mug with Oleksandr Usyk, Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying, Jermaine Taylor, Canelo Alvarez, Jamel Charlo, you know what I'm saying, Josh Taylor, B-Hop. He deserved to be on there with them because he has 4 belts. He has the 4 belts. His belt on down to the WBO. He has them. T.O. and Kambosos did not. No more dispute. Absolutely. No more dispute, man. There's no rematch needed. Real talk. It's no rematch, man. I don't want to see no rematch. Let's not do no rematch, man. No, let's move on to Lomachenko. Fuck all that. We don't need no rematch. And goddamn it, we're gonna talk about Ryan Lion Garcia being desperate like a little thought. Man, how shit come back around. I have to put something out there. I have to admit something, right? It was real sloppy in the lightweight division. Real sloppy. I mean, it got so sloppy to the point where you would call it unprofessional. This achievement is elevated to a point where you're gonna look back in history for those who was actually going through the experience. Going through the experience, whether it was on YTC or you were showing up to the fights or you stayed close to the media. But with this achievement right here, man, you look back on it on how they was trying to rename the belt, and I'm even on record as saying, you know what, if they're gonna fuck him over and blackball him like that, he should get rid of the belt. I truly believe that, and I wouldn't have changed anything if they would have continued to, blackball him and not identify his belt as being important. All of a sudden, he wins and he goes on the list. It's important, but the fact that a black team in boxing like this, 23 years young, right? Mauricio Suleiman was just given his belt every title in the book, comparable to the confusion and mayhem that he basically orchestrated. When you brought the franchise belt in him for Canelo Alvarez, I don't think you did your due diligence to further plan ahead on what it would create when you decide to give Lomachenko that opportunity and leeway also. It's almost like you was just blessed in favorite fighters. The one who absolutely suffered the most out of all this, without a doubt, was Devin. Why I say that? Because his belt was renamed. I mean, they absolutely just disrespected the shit out of the belt. And you have other divisions up here wearing that WBC title, and it's golden. It's still the coveted WBC title, dog. It's the coveted WBC title, but in this lightweight division, they try to make it seem like it was part of the Salvation Army of boxing. And the criticism and the bullshit that went on with Devin trying to sustain relevance, trying to get somebody to pretty much get him the shot. He said to Cambosis he'll fight him on Jupiter. I said that's a little desperate. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want us to do. When a black person acts desperate, they say, yeah, that's where I got him. I got him. So they pretty much felt that, oh, he's willing to do anything. He's willing to take anything. But guess what? You underestimate the strength when it comes down to it. We've been through the struggle. And, you have to commend Bill for being who he is, putting in all that fucking effort. Like, I remember him in the situation with Gary Russell, man, the hours that was spent on here. And I was saying to myself, is the shit real or isn't it real? Is he truly trying to fight? Because why would you spend this much time on YTC? The countless hours and dedication it just takes to be a trainer, bro. It's just insane. It is just insane, bro. So this achievement right here for the entire team, where they went through, them trying to make a fool out of him, not recognize, the value and appraisal of his WBC title, to literally come from behind now. He came from behind, okay? Devin came from fucking behind. He received this belt via email, right? He defended his belt only to try to get Teofimo Lopez to give him a shot. Teo wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't, it comes down to, he probably felt it would be a tough fight. Or he didn't. He might have felt the Cambozo would be an easy fight. But he never gave the man the opportunity. Just so happened, When people try to do ominous shit to you, it comes back around. Camboso lied to the people and said, what? I want to clear up any doubt. So I want to fight for that belt. He was giving us impression he was going to fight for the belt that Devin had, but he never had those intentions. Never. So therefore, the fight falls out with Lomachenko, Ukraine, Russia, full-blown war. And then he has to double back. Now, like they said, they didn't get the monetary purse that they wanted, but the prestige ticket that's on this shit is for life. You know what I'm saying? Money come and go. But the prestige ticket that you have on winning the undisputed titles, every piece of hardware that could be on the table in the lightweight division is in the ownership and in Las Vegas on the Team Haney. It's amazing, bro. It's a motherfucking special moment. I'm not gonna lie, it's a special moment. You know what I'm saying? It's a special moment, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those moments where you just have to sit back and say, congratulations to the team. You did an outstanding job. You came from the back. And they said it's never fun when the rabbit got the gun. Well, shit. The rabbit ended up getting the gun in this one. And y'all pretty much seen that shit play out in Melbourne. He outboxed the shit out of damn Kambosos. He made it look easy. It's not a point in the fight where I felt that he was in any type of I'm talking about just minor trouble. If Kambosos struggled with the past Prime Bay, there was no doubt in my mind Haney would win. Yeah, man. Man, give it up to the team. They prepared the shit out of Haney, man. I ain't gonna lie, they prepared the shit out of him for this fight. He looked too sharp, dog. He looked too sharp, man. It's almost like he had the titles. He was defending his titles. Camboso wasn't fighting like he had the unified titles. It's almost like Devin was defending his titles. It was too easy of an undisputed fight. And I was loving every minute of it. Because I was looking at Camboso just search, and you about to be another Australian fighter that just couldn't be great. Like you can go down in history for being a unified champion for sure. But like I told you in the thumbnail, Camboso, you lied to us. You lied to us, right? You didn't care. You went over there and went on a press tour and pretended like you were going to fight Devin and you didn't want to. And then you turn around and want to act like you're God. You want to get all of a sudden brand new from day one. When you changed that shit on your IG, I knew you was a fraud. When you changed and said you was undisputed after criticizing him, I know you was a fraud. It didn't matter what I called T.O. because I truly said he was undisputed because the franchise subordination tag that Mauricio Suleiman was putting on that title. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen sooner or later where the franchise belt is absolutely going to be priority, the super, and every WBC belt in boxing. It's only a matter of time. But speaking about now, Devin Haney is the first one to ever win a unification for undisputed in the franchise era with every belt included, every super title, every belt included. He's the first to do it. He has bragging rights over T.O., hands down. It doesn't matter if he has, more experience. Hands down, when him and Teofimo meet, I mean, it's really nothing to talk about. To be honest, it's really nothing to talk about, dog. Like, all those meetings that him and T.O. used to have, and before I was there. That first meeting they had, I was standing right there behind Teofimo Lopez. I have the footage. I was there. It's just at my age, I look at this moment where I'm seeing the young ones progress, you know what I'm saying, up through the sport and being able to achieve certain things. I saw Teofimo do it. I was able to cover him. I was able to even cover Devin Haney. Devin Haney them don't know it, but when he came down here to Atlanta, I went to that fight. It was like he was 5-0, 6-0, or something like that. Yeah, I seen him when he came down here to Atlanta way back when. But I seen both of these guys meet before they even had titles, man. And now look at them. But now when they meet the next time, it's a whole nother freaking tone. It's a whole nother freaking temperature because both of them was unified champion. But Devin's gonna say, "You didn't win all the belts like me. You never took my belt. You never took my belt. Point blank. Period. You didn't take my belt. I beat the guy that you lost to. Ooh, it's gonna be nasty. Ugh. Ooh, bragging rights don't change. Oh my God. Just think about it. Tio beat Lomachenko, Kambosos beat Tio, and Devin beats Cambozo. So who's really got bragging rights? You know what I'm saying? And then, not to mention, stop the presses. Not to mention this, people. If Devin Haney gets Lomachenko next, and he goes in there and put the old man to bed and outboxes him like he did Cambozo, he would have separated himself in one division and pretty much solidified his history in boxing. I'm just saying. And also, he'll be on the pound for pound list. Devin Haney should be on the pound for pound list as we speak. I'm telling you, if Teofimo Lopez went on the pound for pound list for defeating Vasyl Lomachenko, then we just can't sit up here and push people off the back end, right? So this is what they're gonna do. At least Teofimo Lopez defeated an active pound for pound recipient. Then when Camboso defeated Teofimo Lopez, they didn't even consider really to keep him on the pound for pound list, even if they even thought to put him on the pound for pound list, because he's not an attraction, none of that shit. Now you look at Devin Haney, he's much more of an attraction than Cambozo, but he didn't defeat anybody that was on the pound for pound list. So how's this shit gonna play out? Are they gonna just take in consideration that he has more belts than Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, and George Kambosos? He should be on the pound for pound list, man. Today. Trap media on deck with it. Is it hypocritical that guys that push the franchise isn't a real WBC belt narrative? Because it doesn't have mandatories. Consider the Devin undisputed without the WBA regular when it's a similar set. It's not somewhat similar in a sense. I don't look at it as being similar because with the WBA regular title that Trap Media, you can't become undisputed. All right. The only reason I was saying that T.O. was undisputed when it came to the WBC is because they was making such a big deal. You're talking about a belt that Devin has that's still throughout boxing. In every division, there's not a franchise belt. It's just only in certain divisions where they subordinate that WBC belt. But how can you make it a subordinate and it's not a subordinate and it's entirely throughout boxing? That's what separates the WBA regular than the franchise, than the belt Devin had prior to winning this past weekend. It was because that his belt was still out here in other divisions without being a subordinate to the franchise belt. There's no subordinate. Across the board in 17 divisions, there's no subordinate across the board for the WBC title, only in specific divisions. Canelo was able to do it at 60, of course at 35, Nan 115, You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not that many franchise belts out there. So you can't compare the two. You can still unify with the belt that Devin had. You can unify. Seriously. Just because it don't have mandatories, who gives a fuck? But when it comes to the WBA, you cannot unify with that WBA regular title. But the title that he had previously, you can unify with that shit all day, every day. You can unify with that. Just look at other divisions. Just look at Josh Taylor. Look at damn Jamel Charlo. Look at Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? You can unify. But in no way, shape, or form, in any given day, you can unify with the WBA regular. Situation when the regular belt has the mandatories. Dev showed incredible focus. Wish Devin would have thrown franchise title in the trash post fight. I look at it once again, logic. Appreciate y'all input in there. So, in such a glorious moment, you wanted to be marred, by showing resistance for no reason. There's no need for them to show resistance. I'm even on record as telling Team Haney, I know you don't fuck with the franchise belt, but go ahead and scoop that shit up. Take everything. Take everything. Leave it butt ass naked at that and leave nothing on the table. Don't sit up here and say, man, fuck the franchise and leave the franchise, with over there with Cambozo or whatever. No, take every title. And you know what? I was paying attention to that when I heard Bill say, hey, we're missing the belt. We're missing the belt. They said, no, it's right here. They wanted that franchise belt. They wanted everything, dog. Why throw it in the trash? Fuck that. Fuck that. Because you just legitimize yourself. It's no gaps. They legitimize who they are. They have every fucking belt. It's legitimized. Done. It's not even an inkling, y'all. It's not even an inkling of doubt as to who the best lightweight is right now when it comes to the credentials. Now, of course, you have, Gervonta Davis out there and everything. I'm talking about straight up, straight over credentials. It's only one person with all the titles. So why bring unnecessary freaking, criticism to yourself in such a glorious moment? Man, let yourself shine. Let your light shine, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? You just solidified history. Don't go throw a title in the trash and then the media's like, I was looking for something. Okay, he made this look too easy, but he just threw the damn franchise in the trash. Nah, bro. They're ripping them apart, man. They'll rip them apart. King Mitch on deck with it. What's good? Shout outs to Haney, true undisputed. Yes, indeed. Absolutely. Couldn't have happened to a better dude. Haney persevered. And that word right there says it all, man. Through the roadblocks put in front of him. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That word right there, persevered, it said it all. Because truth be told, that shit is underlining when it comes to this journey. You know what I'm saying? Their journey, they did persevere, bro. They came from the absolute back. I'm talking about not the back of the lightweight division now. They came all the way from the back of the race to get to this pinnacle. They came all the way from the back, disrespected, motherfucking not given full credit. The belt was damn devalued. You know what I'm saying? They almost like they didn't even acknowledge that the belt was still prestigious. And 95% of the division remaining, it was still prestigious out there. Tyson Fury, is a WBC. Nobody's talking about no other shit except he's the damn WBC champion. Nobody's talking anything about Shakur Stevenson belt he just won, Oscar Valdez. It is the coveted WBC championship, dog. I hope Devin Bill don't go Hollywood. I remember seeing Bill all over the YTC streets. That's not for me, man. That's not for me to say. He can do what the fuck he want, man. He a grown man. Me and Bill the same age, damn near. So, if he frequent the YTC streets, that's on him. He has plenty. One thing I say about him, he's able to do something I wouldn't put too much time into. You have to be patient to be up here to deal with the YouTube community, because time you show up to this channel, the other channel gonna want you, and then you show up to that channel and you getting pulled in all directions while you're trying to run a champion boxer, while you're trying to make sure everything good on your end and maintain a business. So to get on here, talk to TBV and everybody else he talked to, I mean, that takes a lot of effort, bro. Me, myself, I'm not talkative like that. That's why I don't do panels that much. Like, you're not going to see me here all day talking to dudes. Nah, fuck, it ain't going to happen, dog. You know what I'm saying? I just don't have the patience for it. Team Haney needs to make Bob pay all those sanctioning fees. I bet Bob would do it for Loma. Hell yeah, right. I just want to tell you, you got sanctioning fees coming up, Devin. If you can't pay sanctioning fees, we're going to strip you of the belts, and Loma's going to get it. He wants Lomachenko back in the picture, y'all. They want Lomachenko back in the picture so bad, dog. Right side on deck with it. What's good? Salute WCS in the chat. Salute, brother. I know more. I'm just saying, should we change our view on the WBA regular, because it acts as the WBC regular by it having mandatories, and for the fan, I believe that qualifies a real belt. I'll say this again, Trap. I look at it like this: that the WBA regular is the WBA regular, not across the board. So we just can't zoom in to say, okay, it has mandatories. We can't just say, okay, well, the belt Devin had, WBC, it has mandatories, but oh, my bad, it's only in 1, 2, 3 divisions. I mean, come on, you got to think about that. Like, the franchise belt is not in its entirety across the sport of boxing. So you really can't say what we should look at when the physical functionality of these belts is not being identified across the board when it comes to boxing. They're not identifying the WBC title across the board with a franchise in place across the board, but with the WBA, they are. The WBA has it in place. And look what they're trying to do. They're trying to strip it away. The WBA is trying to strip that away. They call themselves trying to condense and clean up the sport. So they're trying to strip the regular titles away. So really, this is going to be a moot point soon, Trap. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a moot point soon, real soon. Because I'm telling you, I don't know why Mauricio hasn't implemented the franchise belt across the board. I don't know why he just thinks that just because he did it for Canelo, and then he put that he put that franchise at the 135 mud hole. That turned into a mud hole, didn't it? He was helping out Lomachenko so he wouldn't have to fight Devin, right? It turned into a mud hole, dog. Come on now. You had how many franchise titleists in one division? 4. You turn that shit into a mud hole with them franchise belts. And then when goddamn Rungvisai was supposed to get the next shot at Juan Estrada, you turn around and say, no, we plan to see a trilogy between Juan Estrada and Roman Gonzalez, aka Chocolatito. So therefore, we're going to elevate Juan Estrada to franchise and have Rungvisai fight for the vacant. You know what I'm saying? Come on. And I told people he was going to insert another belt into the equation, and he did. This year, he's going to insert another franchise belt into the equation. And it may even be I don't know. Devin, now he's the franchise champion. He might have been thinking about inserting it into a black, where a black fighter is a champion because there was no black franchise champions until this past weekend. But I'm talking about him actually giving a franchise or elevating a franchise champ, elevating a WBC champion, the franchise that's currently reigning defending. You know what I'm saying? I can't see how it benefit Mel Charlo. I always thought he was gonna do it with Spence. I always thought he was gonna do it with Spence. I ain't gonna lie. I thought the shit was gonna get shook up just a little bit, and he was gonna down implement that welterweight franchise title, but it never happened. It never happened, bro. Teach on deck. What's good with it, Teach? I think sometimes the sanctioned bodies get it wrong and don't understand how the IBO is discounted when it's an American-based sanctioning body. Devin should still go take that from Maxie Hughes. And you're absolutely right. That I agree with. He should be able to, go scoop up that and take that and further, solidify his legacy. I totally agree 1,000% on that. But once again, even Floyd Mayweather went on a rant about this. We all know why boxing is saturated with belts because we're the only ones not getting paid for it. It's a lot of sanctioning bodies that's living very wealthy. I'm talking about the way they get up in the morning trap is way different than you and I. They getting them sanctioning fees paid from 17. Come on, bro. You have all these divisions paying you money. And the titles are every fucking where. Now, I ain't talking about the secondary titles, but I can't discount the secondary titles like they don't mean shit. They mean shit, dog. They mean shit. Like the WBC, you have to, win their Intercontinental and all that other stuff to get considered for that. And then you have the WBA structure and everything else. But I don't know, man. I don't know when they're gonna clean this shit up. Boxing just has too many hands picking fruit off the tree. It's just too many people here that's able to pick fruit off the sport of boxing. That's why it's just everywhere. It's sporadic. It has its dark times. This, what Devin's been able to accomplish is a lighter moment this year. What Jermell Charlo was able to accomplish was a lighter moment. But I'm gonna be honest, the biggest one of them all, in my opinion, using the P word again for perseverance, I would say the biggest one this year was absolutely what Devin accomplished yesterday. Even though the performance wasn't as exciting as a Jermell Charlo and Castaño, it wasn't exciting as Canelo's, running through the damn super middleweight division. And the only reason I'm saying that it wasn't exciting because Cambozo wasn't able to show up and give that intensity for entertainment value like he did Tio. I mean, Devin handicapped the fuck out of him, dog. And he took away his strengths. And Cambozo attempted to try to use him. And like I said in my article, he was like Houdini. Every time Cambozo felt that he was right close enough to try to land that power shot, nope, out of there. That's a good point there, Trap. Real talk. That's a good point. But man, that's way outside the scope of understanding because it's just so many people make money off these belts, man. Keep the franchise and keep it hostage like that Canelo is doing with at 160. By doing this, the WBC can cause more confusion at 135. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen at 135 right here. Like when everybody has the belts like Devin Haney, the first time that any boxer has been able to have the possession, you might potentially see a new rule come out. Now that you have a fighter that possesses the franchise, the WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, ring, linear, all that shit. Now you might see Mauricio Suleiman come out with another rule. I'm serious. Don't say I ain't tell you. Now you might see Mauricio come out with something else, dog. Now he might try to provide structure for the franchise title. Now that every freaking belt is in the possession of one fighter, it gets very interesting now because the mud hole that Mauricio started, it's gotten much more muddier now because he really don't have no structure to what he's just witnessed. Like, this was a guy who you was devaluing his belt. Now he has not only the franchise belt, but he still has the WBC belt and every other belt. So does Mauricio appreciate it? Is he going to do more for Devin to or he going to go in here and get with his governing body and they're going to change it up? What's going to be the new shocker? You know what I'm saying? What's going to be the bomb drop? Something's going to happen. They ain't going to let him just hold on to that franchise and all this other shit. You know, and even at the end of the day, man, we don't know if he's going to fight Lomachenko next. But he might even vacate. That's a lot of sanction fees to pay. They might even vacate. I doubt they hold on to these belts for a long time. Seriously. You know, and you know, I can't think for building them in their pockets. But if I had to assume, they would want to take a big fight while they're still the undisputed champions and get that purse that they're looking for. Because we all damn know they did not get that purse they wanted with Cambozo. You know, they got some silly string in that motherfucker, confetti. You know what I'm saying? They got some goddamn bowling pins. They didn't get the damn soft shit. You know what I'm saying? They didn't get the soft, fluffy green shit that they wanted in a fight of that magnitude because they wanted to make it, because Cambozo didn't want to make it unpleasant as possible. Now that they have the belts, I would say stick around enough to get that big payday. Whether it be with Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson, that's a big payday, dog. And then, you know, he may have the belts, but now you have to think about PPV. Like, come on now. In order for you to really make that moolah, that mucho dinero, you're going to have to go up here and get with somebody to get paid, dog. King Mitch said Haney didn't request the franchise tag. They just transferred it after that boxing lesson. No, that's not true. That's not true. Because the last time I checked, they wasn't just transferring the title. You had to actually, you know, insert that petition. But, you know, I'm not saying I'm right. But the last time I was communicating about the franchise belt, you definitely had to request only in the lightweight, because there's been no other division that this is taking place. To be clear, there's been no other division that this transfer is even relevant, except the lightweight 135-pound division. That's it. Dev showed everyone how to overcome adversity. He needs a movie made after the journey. It is, man. You know, that's why they have that their media guy up there. You know, the brother who was ringside. No, I'll take that back. I don't even know his name. I know they have a media guy with him. I know they have a media guy with him. So I'm pretty sure they documented the shit out of this, dog. Like, they documented the hell out of this rise to fame. Real talk. Because, you know, I was on record as saying, man, this is legendary shit right here. If he completes the Aussie single, he goes down in the books as the first to ever do it. And then I say that ESPN comes out here and all of a sudden wants to include Tio and Cambozo. Because Devin he's the only one that's on that list as the franchise holder along with the WBC title? Is it the 4-belt era, the 5-belt era? Come on now. Which era is it now? You can't sit up here and have this confusion. Like, let's not make it about the pound for pound list and dilute shit. Like boxing, man, when they don't want to give certain people shine, they tend to dilute shit. How are you gonna automatically insert two more individuals when you didn't do it for Tio, you didn't do it for Cambozo, but yet you have someone who absolutely accomplished something that never been done in boxing? Oh, let's go ahead and put him on there, Roy. Okay, Johnny, you agree? Ricky, you good? Bob, okay? Yeah, throw him on there. I mean, why? Why are you gonna do like that? You should just recognize he has the 4 belts internal to his cachet that everybody else on that list has. Boom, put him on there. George Cambozo and Teofimo did not. So just keep it, you know what I'm saying, in uniform across the board. Keep it uniform. Don't fuck it up. Don't just throw names on there just because you upset. Definition of franchise tag is ever expanding like the universe. First, you have to request it, then it was transferable. Yeah, that was way back when. But, like Mauricio said, though, he said we're going from tradition to evolution. Mauricio told y'all that. Why we acting like Mauricio is not going to create his own index and keep on his certain motherfucking appendixes and chapters and shit? That's Mauricio, dog. Mauricio once said the franchise is causing positive confusion. I mean, that's actually, that makes sense though. Because the way some of those individuals that has control to manipulate some shit, positive confusion to them would be placing a device such as the franchise into boxing and allowing more attention to be delegated to the WBC because of it. That's positive confusion. They're showing more vested interest into what the WBC has going on because they have this belt out here that's not uniform across the sport of boxing, and it's causing a lot of temperatures to rise. It's getting a lot of attention, people talking about it, and they say, cool, that's what we want. Cool, yeah, that's great. They're giving us attention. They talking about this franchise title. Whenever we go to a damn fight, people see Mauricio. Question. That franchise belt, is it transferable now? Initially, you say that the franchise champion could not lose the belt. Then, when it came to Lomachenko and Tio, you changed up the scripture, rewrote it, and said that the challenger could petition for the franchise to be switched over. Then you say that, Mauricio? Okay. And then Mitch is in the chat saying that now you don't even have to petition. It's transparent. it's not even no more paperwork. Fuck it. There's no way paperwork, goddammit. No more paperwork. There's no more paperwork needed. That's old. That's old school. It's transparent now. You fight for the fucking title, you get it. Okay? God damn it. Shut up. WBC World Title isn't regular until franchise tag is issued in every division. I agree. Shout out to the sensei himself, Stormy B-Man, on deck with it, in the building. What's good with you, Stormy? Appreciate you pulling up, brother. Appreciate you pulling up. And y'all definitely check out Stormy B, man. Definitely check the brother out. I like those Kung Fu Chronicles, man. For real. That shit gives me that old school flavor when I used to watch Kung Fu Theater back in the day when we only had 3 channels, man. When I was getting vested in the psychological part of martial arts. Yep. ESPN still has Loma undefeated on paper. No, man. Don't say that. You know what I'm saying? Don't say that. Because I thought they had fixed that. I thought they had fixed that. Do they still have him on the pound for pound list? But anyway, Lomachenko is not even the topic of discussion today. You know what I'm saying? Not right now, at least. Let me see. That's fucked up if they still have him, you know, undefeated. But get back to the task at hand, right? The challenges that was involved with making it to the front of the top, making it to the head of the front runners, are making it to a position to be the front runner. That's exactly what Devin was able to do. They stayed in the race long enough, and through the graces of Mother Nature, unfortunately for two countries, but Lomachenko was called to guard. That which left only the reasonable solution and selection would be Devin Haney, nobody else. And he had to. It wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He had to go over there and win the first fight, else he's out. He's done. And thankfully to God that they was able to reach that pinnacle, because with these fighters that put in work, you really have black father and son tandems in the sport. Shout out to senior and junior, man, Michael Williams, them, one of the father sons. Tony Harrison used to have his dad with him before he passed. I remember at one point in time, Sugar Shane Mosley had his pops. Roy Jones had his pops. Jahad Tucker has his pops in his corner right now. They've been on the grind. They still young in the game too. It's just a lot of freaking tandems out here that may never be able to see the pinnacle for which Devin Haney has reached. It's good shit to be alive to witness it. Like I say, I can stop covering boxing today, and I feel like besides the ones that's already in the dirt, it's only one that I haven't really got yet. One or two. I've seen Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? I got a pitch with Oleksandr Usyk. I really don't want to pitch with Anthony Joshua. I don't really have too much to ask Anthony Joshua. But the only other one is Mike Tyson. Period. Oh my God. I'll touch bases with Jerry Coney. You know what I'm saying? No, I'll take that back. Larry Holmes, man. You know what I'm saying? Larry Holmes. But as far as that, that's what it is, bro. I'm seeing these fighters before they even get to the championship level like this, and they're changing levels in their life, man. Like this level change that Devin just accomplished, he's not going to be the same person. Period. Look at Gervonta Davis. Look how Gervonta always shows up to the media shit like he just got out of bed, but yet he's a pay-per-view star. You know what I'm saying? He's a highlight reel, and people want to see him fight, but yet he still moves and grooves, regularly. He ain't coming up there with his hair all lined up, motherfucker trimmed up nice, buying all this expensive shit. No, he shows up the fights. He shows up the presses. Shit. Chilling, lounging in shit that's comfortable, goddammit. Of course these fighters gonna change, dog. Of course they are. Being Boxing News, what's good with it, bro? Devin Haney should be on everyone's pound for pound. I'm hoping they don't come with some bullshit of whatever they got to say about it, but no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He should be on the pound for pound list. Seriously. He should be on the pound for pound list. And I'm not sure who's going to react to this a certain way, but Devin Haney should be in front of Jermell Charlo on the pound for pound list. I'm just keeping it honest. It doesn't matter if he had one belt heading into this. It's the fact that he defeated the guy who defeated the guy who defeated the guy. That's how I look at it. Kambosos defeated T.O. defeated Lomachenko, who's already WBC champion after he defeated Luke Campbell for the vacant. So I'm just looking at the overall encompassing details. I believe that Devin should enter with the franchise belt, the pound for pound list, no less than number 8. No less than number 8. Seriously, no less than number 8. Oh yeah, Jaron Ennis. Shout out to Bozy. You're right. Shout out to Bozy Ennis and Jaron Ennis. I can't remember everything, I remember what I can remember, but goddamn it, that's what I got y'all for. Appreciate the drop. Jaron Ennis, Bozy Ennis, father-son tandem, black team. Congratulations to Haney, but I started nodding off after the 7th. Look, Dundalk, shout out to Dundalk on deck. If y'all want to come over here and try to dilute the shit as if it was boring, you go right ahead. But it ain't shit you can tell me when it comes down to the magnitude of that fight, right? I'm talking about everything that it encapsulates for boxing history, bro. Listen to me, Dundalk. For boxing history, everything that fight encapsulates is a part of history if Devin Haney wins it. And that's exactly what happened. So you had to have some type of energy to stay up just to watch history, or you truly just didn't care about it. And you say, you know what, I'll catch it another time. Because it was part of history, bro. That shit was a huge part of history with him fighting in somebody else's backyard. Everything that led up to that point. And him going in there behind enemy lines to basically achieve something that's unprecedented up to this point. No one has ever been able to do it. You're going for every freaking title ever in that division to include the franchise belt. I mean, it was crazy, but you had to stay up, just to say, okay, let me see how this plays out. Let me see if I can witness history with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow isn't promised. Showtime Shaw in the building. What's good with the Shaw Steel's on deck with it? Say salute to you, WCS. I appreciate the text last night. Devin did it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, for sure. Yeah, Papachenko, father and son. Yep, Papachenko. Well, I was pretty much talking about how limited there is with black father and son tandems in boxing. You know what I'm saying? They're not a lot. Even Zab Judah and Yoel Judah back in the day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this day and time, you don't see it a lot, man. You don't see it a lot. I know the Charlos brought their pops out prior to his lead up with Brian Castano, but let me see. I don't see it. I don't see it like that, man. I see Errol Spence pops every now and then. I know he out there. I don't think he's, in the training camp, but yeah, he's out there for sure. Mike Tyson is different. That's my uncle's people. He really 730. Bozian is underrated. It may be. Look, Velocity. This is a deal with underrated title, the tag, right? People can say you're underrated just off the lack of identity. Period. It doesn't mean that you're seriously underrated unless you're performing. A trainer, we already know a trainer is not the one performing. They have a pinch hitter. They have someone that they're training and they're going in there boxing. When I look at the term underrated, to me, it more so plays differently in the sport of boxing when they say trainers are underrated and just like that, because their fighter haven't made it to that pinnacle yet for people's like Derrick James, for instance, they haven't made it to a certain pinnacle. And when Jerron Ennis picks up his belt, his first chip, guess what? That's going to be out the question. Then he picks up his second title. They're not going to talk about underrated no more. They're going to start looking at him like, okay, why don't we recognize his trainer for not just being his father, but for what he's been able to accomplish with his fighter. As in, you take a sport that you compete in, and they say, "Oh man, so and so underrated." I mean, that's because you haven't really, got your window of notoriety yet, or you just haven't competed against the best. It all depends, man. But in boxing, it all depends on the fighter that you got. People say off the strength of a lack of identity, oh, they underrated. And then what they say for the people that's overrated, they know you. Oh, they overrated, man. Get them out of here. They ain't doing shit, man. They overrated. That's because Tank got it out the mud. Haney, I don't know. So Dundada. So we're really gonna talk about the mud? Like, okay, I understand that when it comes to amateurs and stuff, all right. But what are we saying about the mud though? Because just because a person is not born into this world where they have to fend for straps a certain way in order to feed themselves, or they have an abundance of, their baby food tastes just a little bit different. The utensil is a little bit different color. It kind of glitters off the light. We already know plasticware doesn't glitter off nothing. So if you're trying to say Devin was born with a silver spoon that reflected off the light, I mean, what's wrong with that, dog? What does that have to do with getting it out the mud when at the end of the day, black people got to let that shit go, man? Like, I understand we say that. We'll remind people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can say I didn't have a lot growing up, but I can't sit up here and lie and say just because I stayed a minute from one of the worst ghettos in ATL, I was in the ghetto. I wasn't in the ghetto. But a lot of my friends was. I could leave my neighborhood and go walk over there without getting jumped, stole, or get my bike stole or something like that. I can't say I got it out the mud just because I was eating mayo sandwiches and Pops had 5 kids he had to take care of. I can't say I got it out the mud, even though ATL was real bad back then. Wayne Williams up here killing people and all that. I mean, it all depends, man. You reach this pinnacle, you gotta say we gotta overlook the mud shit and giving these cats credit. So you trying to say you're gonna separate the applause because you feel that Devin has a silver spoon and Gervonta might have had a plastic spoon or even using his hands. I don't agree with that, big dog. I don't agree with that because at the end of the day, boxing is boxing. I mean, both of them receiving championship status. And we do know the background of both of them. I'll take that back. I know much more about Gervonta Davis' background than I do Devin Haney. But regardless, if people say he was born with a silver spoon, well, goddamn it, imagine what's on that silver spoon last night. Imagine what was on that silver spoon last night, dog. When they was eating in the post-fight. They went out to the restaurant in the post-fight. Imagine what they was eating, dog. Man, come on now. They probably had the fine dining, dog. Clint Bozo just told me he lost the fight on purpose. The art of war. Clint Bozo up here talking about he lost the fight on purpose just to make the rematch that much interesting. But I guarantee you, I assure you, the rematch, I will get the belts back and bring them home for my country, my people, and most certainly my heart, because I lost a lot of that last night. And I apologize. I lost my heart. And Jeff Horn, I apologize, Jeff. I apologize, Jeff Horn. I did do you wrong, Jeff. Come give me a hug. Come give me a hug, man. I was feeling myself. I'm arrogant, egotistical, and a clown. So if he beat the guy who beat the guy, then Loma and Cambozo were undisputed. Now I was more so talking about what they pretty much how it all started cycling itself up. It started with Lomachenko, who was on the pound for pound list. Okay. Teofimo Lopez, with the amount of fights he had heading in that fight, just having the IBF title, he went in there to defeat the guy who was on the pound for pound list. So that's crazy appraisal for Teofimo Lopez value. But then it all goes downhill when George Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez had 3 delays in their fights. 3 delays from Triller. After they went the purse bid and Triller won with 6.1, nothing never happened from that. But that didn't take anything away from Teo because he was undefeated. See, not only did Lomachenko hold a position on the pound for pound, but he's a 3-weight world champion. And he was unified at 135. So you take that, bleed it over to Teo, and then for a guy like Cambozo coming out of nowhere, really haven't did anything special. He goes on there that night and defeat Teo for all the titles to accept the WBC belt, right? He has some value to him because he defeated Teo, who defeated Lomachenko. These are unified titles now. So of course, Devin Haney collecting all the belts because he was the current reigning defending to collect all the other belts. He should be on the pound for pound list for that. Because how many other belts is it that he can get? He has all the priority in his ownership. All the belts that he's supposed to have that mean something should put him on the pound for pound. If you're going to become undisputed and they don't put you on the pound for pound list, then what is the criteria? Because they threw Josh Taylor on the pound for pound list off the strength of Jose Ramirez. They threw him on the pound for pound list. So, I mean, what is the criteria for the pound for pound list? It's not being undisputed. It's not multiple divisions because Errol Spencer's on the pound for pound list. He's a single division. You know what I'm saying? Oleksandr Usyk was on the pound for pound list before he even won a belt at heavyweight. So what is the standing criteria to be on the pound for pound list? If you don't consider taking that nasty ass deal and whooping Clambozo, getting it out the mud, then you bugging. Man, hell yeah. Like I said, the word of the day, perseverance, man. They persevered. The rhetoric, criticism, everything else that they involved, they persevered that shit. I'm telling you, it's a moment of glory, man. Cause I like, being dedicated and committed to achieving something that I'm challenging myself to. I don't too much, really get into proving stuff to others because if you're proving to yourself and you're getting it accomplished, then others gonna see that shit anyway. So I don't too much worry about showing proving to other people. But you prove it to yourself and get the shit done, people gonna look at you and say, "Oh shit, okay, all right." They're gonna pay you that attention. But you got too many people out here to be trying to prove something to others, and they can't even get it done themselves, dog. They're not even strong enough to get the shit done themselves. Showtime say 23. That's a fact. It took Charlo to his 30s to become undisputed. Facts, bro. Facts. Hey, Showtime, facts. You know what I'm saying? That's facts. Facts right there. T.O. and Cambozo, my bad. No, it's all good, man. We talking boxing, done dollar, man. You don't have to be perfect. Shit. Talk your shit, man. I definitely agree with you, WCS, but I'm talking about strictly what was happening inside the ring. If you're talking about getting it out the mud inside the ring, we can't even really revisit Devin Haney's resume like that no more. We can't. It's senseless to go back and revisit the Abdulayevs and Santiagos, man. If we not look, if we're gonna revisit that shit, then let's revisit Boots Ennis. Who is Boots Ennis? What did he fight to get all the accolades? And I like Boots, man. I'm just saying, like let's be serious, bro. We're gonna keep slice it down the middle and keep it a thou wow. That's boxing. If y'all show up to some of these fights and see some of these guys who's getting approved to make their debut in boxing, then you would understand how easy it is to have some ragu on your resume. Come on, man. Y'all acting like we recycling killers that come into the sport of boxing. No, you have dudes who get off the couch. They just say, you know what? I want to lose some weight. Boom, they start losing weight. And then they might get good at it. And they feel they really got some hidden strength. So they really start taking it serious. And they call them a late starter. They come in here as a late starter and win the world championship as a late starter. So are we really going to talk about Devin Haney's resume? And he's did everything everybody else did. Are we really going to bring into the consideration of Canelo Alvarez having about 34 professional fights in Mexico? Are we really going to start bringing up, some of those opponents that's irrelevant? No, bro, that's unfair. Real talk, that's unfair, man. If we're going to talk about Santiago and Abdulayev and shit, that's just being petty now. Because the man is unified champion. That shit is fucking petty, bro. And I'm one of the ones that was criticizing his resume like I did Boots Ennis. But look, what changed the corner for me is when he fought Jorge Linares. I told y'all on live. I say Team Haney is listening to the people. He said he just wanted to prove that he can go the distance with Gamboa. Cap. He went in there. He fought on the inside with Jorge Linares. He got stuck in the 10th round, wobbled a little bit, came back out, did what he's supposed to do, got past it, boom. Went in there, beat Jojo Diaz, boom. Now he gets the title shot in somebody else's backyard and wins for undisputed titles. You think I'm talking about Abdulayev and Santiago, bro? No, that's hating right there. That's fucking hating, dog. I ain't gonna lie. That's straight up hating. He doubled up on the Barclays Center attendance numbers and did more numbers than Spence Ugas. Yeah, when they said Javante did 400, shit. We acting like we got a new PPV king out this mug. It's great what he did, but there's fighters who do that their entire careers, King Mitch. Loma was the guy because he was ranked number one pound for pound. He always never undisputed. T.O. did unify versus Loma because Loma had other belts as well. But also they factor in Lomachenko. Lomachenko is this jewel that's about to be placed back in the case. It's only a matter of time that he's out of the sport. He came in here with the two gold lights from the Olympics, right? So he came in here with the two gold lights from the Olympics. And then whoever was on his team, they was planning some freaking sneaky covert type. Well, we're gonna pick this window. Okay, you ready, Loma? And then we're gonna turn professional for the record. Even though Lomachenko was already competing professionally, they wanted to come in here and scoop up a professional title on his second recorded professional fight. Who does that? Who else has been able to do that? His second professional fight with Orlando Salido, even though he had already been in the ring as a professional with the WBSS. What do I know? What do I know? What do I know? Boys is a true. Bozy is a true cool boy. Trains in his gym a lot, and look how he looked. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't know too much about Bozy, But I know for a fact he's a cool dude. Him and Boots, and definitely I know Showtime is linked up with that behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about Cool Boy Steph, he does make shit looks different. Like we seen him box Ramon box. But if you take that performance and you look at Angelo Leo and Brandon Figueroa, that ain't what you seen. Like he showed you he can motherfucking brawl. He can fight on the inside. He can fight off the back foot. Man, he's well rounded as a fighter. I don't know how high he would go in boxing as far as division, but man, Stephen Fulton is I'm telling you, he the real deal. He the truth, man. And I really hope he's able to unify Undisputed as Super Bantam. I really hope so, man. Dude can box his ass off. He's talented as shit, man. Just because he's in the lower divisions, you don't have a lot of brothers in the lower divisions like that. Seriously, like the D boys, Dylan Price. He's one of the only ones, the only brother I think that's down there, super fly. He used to be signed with TMT. He one of the only fighters, black fighters, that's in that lower weight class down there. And then we had, Josh Gray Jr. 118, bantamweight. I mean, it's just not in surplus, bro. Usyk, Beterbiev, a ton of Mexicans that come to America to fight here because the money is better. That's true. Showtime say, Don Dollar, did he make it last night? No silver, spoon, or email? Come on, man. Look, we can't talk about the email no more. We can't talk about the silver spoon. We can't talk about Santiago and Abdullayev, bro. We just can't do it. That's a disservice to reporting on the sport. If a person is willing to advance, and anybody who's leaning in close enough to the sport knows that if you was mad at how boring he was from the change he made from Gamboa to Jorge Linares, and then the JoJo fight was okay. I mean, it takes two to dance sometime. JoJo fight was all right, but for him to go box the ears off Cambozo and make it look so simple, you really gonna start continuing to bring up email? I wouldn't even do that. It's pointless. This man is a unified champion. If you talk about what he did in the past, you just straight up hating on him for real. It's no other word to describe it, bro. You sipping on a cup of hate. I have no problems with Haney. Everybody ain't gonna like him. I know. I have no problems with Haney. I can relate more to Tank and how he grew up. Is all I'm saying. Listen, Dundee, I'm gonna tell you something that's wild. I can too. I can too. But see, when you talk about you relate to certain people, they don't understand that because they ain't never seen you around their block. But I know where I came from. I can't help because I went to the military and I wear a certain haircut and I ain't locked out and shit. I get it, bro. I can relate too. Because I definitely didn't grow up in there like that. Pops didn't have all that money. I can relate. Because I'm going to tell you like this, Dollar. That tap water, drinking that water out the hose in the summer, that shit tastes good. That shit tastes good. Now, you probably get cancer doing that shit. But when you thirsty as fuck, shit. You find a water hose on the neighbor's house, man, and you go there and turn it on and you drink water. They didn't used to say nothing, dog. Nothing. Ain't no bread in the house. Man, you got to go over there and ask the neighbors. Is there any way you can make me a mayonnaise sandwich, please? Oh, no problem. Then they might shock you and say, do you want some bologna on that? What? Do you got cheese? Yeah, I'll take bologna and cheese. Shit. Trick in the building. What's good with it, Trick? WCS, what's good? I'm solid, man. I'm good, man. Y'all hit the like button in the building, bro. Last time I checked, Usyk went on the road for his undisputed run. But Turbiev had no Russian fans in America, especially now. So, so, so you're saying that Usyk went on the road? Okay. So Usyk picked up his IBF title in the U.S., right? Okay. So just because he collected the rest of the rest of the belts, you talking about him collecting the rest of the belts in the WBSS? Is that what you considering the road, bro? Knowing who you're fighting? I get what you're saying, Don Dollar, but come on now. He was in the tournament, bro, for the last three-fourths of his titles, bro. Gassiev? What do I know? I don't know too much about this boxing shit, dog, for real. Every now and then I might read the back of a bubblegum wrapper and learn some shit. Those Mexicans you mentioned come to America because the boxing economy is here. And when you want to talk about, us going over to Mexico and them coming over here, I mean, it's two different worlds. They coming over here to make a living and essentially provide for their family back in Mexico. And we're going over there just to benefit ourselves, to put a name on our record. We pretty much over here living pretty decent. If you're going over to Mexico for a fight, you're living pretty decent. And this boxing shit is tough. You talking about going over to Mexico, hopefully to win a fight and have it recorded? Brian Norman Jr. went over to Mexico, man, and knocked the dude out so fast they didn't even record it. Why you want to waste that money? No, too brutal. No, no. Something's not right. Too brutal. You take him back to States, we don't want to see him no more, no time. Too much punch power. Haney better not move up and vacate. There's too much smoke at 135. You mean it? So let's. I'm good. You brought up smoke at 135, right? In my opinion, the smoke is Gervonta Davis. All right, that's the smoke is Gervonta Davis. Lomachenko. I have to still show him respect in that regard because I still think he's competitive, even though he has a lot of miles on his body. And I think he's going to show up in the ring if he faced Devin Haney, for real. I just think he's going to look much more, slower off the trigger. And he's not going to be as mobile as we used to seeing him. It plays out that way. But anyway, Lomachenko, Gervonta Davis for sure. And then that guy, what's that guy? What's that other guy? Ryan Lyon Garcia. And just to mention Ryan Lyon Garcia, now all of a sudden, he's saying on record, Devin Haney, you look, it was NyQuil. Ryan Garcia said Haney performance was NyQuil against Kambosos. It was NyQuil. It was NyQuil. So this is a guy who at one point in time in his career, y'all, refused to fight Devin. Refused to, right? Not only Hold up for a second. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, my fault. I dropped out for a second. But Ryan Lyon Garcia, bro, this dude was up here refusing to enact his mandatory. Refusing, right? Then he say he was his boy was Devin Haney. They was cool. But then he called out Javante Davis. In the process of understanding he did not want that motherfucking torch blower, that flamethrower, he pulls out and ducks after Javante had been on record as saying, you know what? I fight Ryan Garcia, you know, he bring the following. He has 8 million, da da da. Yeah, I fight him. He pulled out, ducked, tried to act like, you know, Leonard Ellaby was lying, all that other bullshit that was going on at the fight and back in the day. And then he want to convince us that we're about to witness Manny Pacquiao drop down to a catchweight and fight his ass. What was the purpose of Manny doing that? I don't fucking know. But the clown, the biggest clown in that entire fiasco was Ryan Garcia. Hands down, period. Taylor beat Rougarou and Jose Ramirez. Absolutely. But we're talking about collecting titles, though. So how many divisions have Rougarou been the world champion? We're talking about collecting titles. Yes, he beat Taylor in the tournament in WBS. I mean, he beat Rougarou in the tournament. Cool. But Jose Ramirez, cool. He had 2 titles. Josh Taylor had 2 titles. But if you're talking about Devin Haney not beating hardly anybody, look at the whole makeup of the lightweight division. And once again, the ball started rolling with Vasil Lomachenko. How many of them fighters was on the pound for pound list? So you have to look at the value of someone defeating somebody on the pound for pound list. It was 2 fighters at lightweight that was on the pound for pound list that Kambosos had a part of. T.O. defeated Lomachenko, and when Kambosos defeated T.O., he was on the pound for pound list. I mean, we can go forever and a day talking about, well, how somebody picked up the belt. Well, look at J Rock for instance. J Rock defeating Jerry Hurd, right? And then losing to Jason Rosario, and then Jamel defeating Jason Rosario. Who's really looking at Jason Rosario as this guy who you give all the credit to? You know, like, damn, he was a superstar. No, you're not gonna say that. And then you have Brian Castano defeating Patrick Teixeira. They have a rematch. Charlo goes in the back door on the ring pound for pound at number 10. But nobody on the pound for pound list has a franchise title. Nobody. So if we're going to implement the franchise tag, we need to sit up here and say, okay, Devin needs to be on the pound for pound list today, and he should be no less than 8. He should be no less than 8, bro. Lomachenko should not be on the list. He doesn't have any titles. You can't just sit up here and create the Tyson Fury mythological lineal shit. He doesn't have shit. His ass shouldn't even be on the pound per pound list. So it's really 9 respectable fighters on the pound for pound list when it comes to the ring that should be on there. Lomachenko is not one of them. Yep, fighting in others' backyard for money. I guess all I got to do is qualify for this bullshit you talking. It's not fight at home. It's nobody's fault he's from Ukraine. It's not. It's nobody's fault, man. It's nobody's fault. You misinterpret it's a great achievement, but others do it all the time and no one acknowledge it. Others do what? I'm not sure what you're getting at, Don Dollar. Like others do. We can't say in this era, you and I and everybody else, we can't say, well, me, I've seen it. I'm much older than y'all, but we can't say everybody does it when it comes to undisputed. And then it gets a little shaky with the criteria when you're talking about unified champions being on the pound for pound list. Then it becomes a little bit more shaky. You're like, okay, why are they on the pound for pound list? You ask the question of who they beat. Okay, Errol Spence defeated Kell Brook, who defeated Sean Porter. There's a connection there. Champion defeated the champion, and then Errol become the champion. And then you look at how he went in and defeated Sean Porter, which was crazy because Errol Spence ended up picking up two of Sean Porter's belts. That's wild, huh? What do I know? I mean, I don't spend too much time on this boxing shit, dog. Lama was and Usyk did with AJ King Mitch. For real, Showtime. What do I know, man? What do I know, Shawty? Haney School Cam. Let's see him versus Lomo and Tank. That's it. That's it. But he should be on the pound for pound list, though. How many belts do you need? I mean, the backstory is there. You came from the freaking back, from the front runners. You came from the back. You wasn't even being respected by the WBC president. They was renaming your title the Pride title. T.O. didn't give you the time. Boom. That went all bad. Then he wanted to, Cambozo wanted to fight Lomachenko. That went all bad. Then they had to come back to you. They give a motherfucking toilet paper, a toilet roll contract where you go in there not even benefiting to the amount of damn monetary payout that you should be getting for a fight of that magnitude, and you go in there and win. You have the titles. So I hope Bob Arum do make it to the point where he fights Lomachenko next. Nobody don't want to see Cambozo ass no more. Unless he's, headline the Ringley, Barnum and Bailey circus. And when they come down here to Atlanta, I'm going to be front and center. I'm going to goddamn come in that bitch with a carton of eggs, too. I'm going to say, hey, Cambozo, man, yeah, I saw your fight. Pow! Crack him over the head with a damn egg and shit. I saw that fight with you and Haney. Oh, it was great. Can I get an autograph? Pow! AJ a cash cow. Man, here we go. Talking about AJ a cash cow. None of y'all know what AJ is making. That's an old narrative that was freaking cultivated by the UK media and some of these gullible freaking US boxing fans who was sitting up here talking about AJ was selling out Wembley. And then you have a novice like myself would say, oh, for real? So AJ sold out Wembley how many times so far? Man, all the time. I say, so are you getting that confused with the O2? Because if you look on BoxRec right now, Shawty, the only time he actually sold out is when he fought Klitschko. The other guy, the first time he stepped in there was against Jason Legg, or Matt Legg. He didn't sell out the motherfucking Wembley fight Matt Legg. The name itself would have fans not even want to show up. Who he fighting? A guy named Matt Legg. Fuck that. I'm watching on TV. I fucks with Usyk, but having overwhelming performance versus Witherspoon and Chisora, then getting a shot from AJ and 3 titles and not out the mud shit. That's privilege shit. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. They gave him the entry, the platinum entry, the VIP entry. You know what I'm saying? You know how you go to certain places? You just don't go in the way other people go in, just like the MGM Grand. The VIP goes into a different entry unless you want to be seen. You know what I'm saying? If you're driving up to the motherfucker, you ain't standing at the MGM. You come in through a whole nother entry. Usyk came in through the VIP entry. They gave him a very soft touch and Chase Witherspoon. He got that out the way. And then he had some little issues with Derek Chisora. All right, Derek Chisora's a dog. We know that. That's a motherfucking bear. And then he went up there and did what I was telling people back when they was talking about Joshua and Wilder. I said, man, he's not that guy. Man, fuck that. You just hating on him. What do I have to hate on Joshua about? I don't know him. I'm just saying he's overrated, man. He's it's people that still to this day that have blocked me on Facebook. I say he's overrated. This was way back in 2018. I said I don't see anything special about Joshua. They say, man, he got knockout power. Look at his physique. I say that's just the point. Y'all busy up here trying to see how you can order a full-blown life-size poster that you can post in your bathroom. Hopefully you can get a picture of him modeling or something in the UK underwear or something. But a lot of y'all cats was more so living vicariously through Anthony Joshua instead of looking at how fragmented he was when he faced Vladimir Klitschko. If you want to talk about the word exposed, that would be the fight to look at. They brought Vladimir in just for a part-time job. Vladimir ended up being a full-time goddamn manager and supervisor. And then somebody gave him, hey, Vladimir, what are you doing? Ease up. Okay. Oh, my fault. I just had a flashback. I thought I was just competing to be champion again. Hey, you keep on acting the way you acting, you're definitely going to be champion because you're fucking him up. You're fucking him up, Vladimir. Stop it. We only came out of retirement to go back in retirement. Stop it. Joshua over there. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Because, without you, I'm getting my ass beaten here. Adrian! And I fuck with Usyk. So you criticize Usyk heavyweight run to unification, but I'm hating because I'm looking at Haney road to undisputed. Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this: you have the right to look at it the way you want, Dundada. Seriously, if you feel some type of way as humans and as people in general, man, we ain't gonna like everybody. I was one of the ones critical. But see, when people don't know who you are and you critical or something, they always blend in, you being neutral and non-biased to hate. If you feel some type of way about how he went to undisputed and you have a complaint about how Usyk was explained to get undisputed, I would definitely have to side with freaking Mitch because Usyk did get prestigious. They still getting prestigious preferential treatment. Just the fact when they went over to the war and they taking all these pictures in comeback. Where they do that at? Where they do that at? Like, I like Usyk as a fighter. When I seen him in person, I like him. He cool. 2 fights at heavyweight. He gets put into the WBA mandatory, and he gets a shot at Joshua. I mean, that was some good home cooking. Like once he got on deck and they served him. Oh man, that was some good cooking right there. Devin, he didn't get that cooking. Hell no. I don't give a fuck about what he eating at home. But he got the title. Okay, so be it. He got the title. But what backlash did he receive from getting the title the way he did? Email champion. He didn't fight nobody for it. Blah, blah, all this other shit. So I'm telling you, since he received the backlash, and then, Mauricio Suleiman trying to rename the title, not giving him full respect and authority that there are other WBC titles out there in boxing that gets full-blown respect for being champion. But yet in the lightweight division, it turned into a freaking championship pothole all because of the franchise belt. That fucked everything up. That's why you have a total of 4 franchise champions in one division now. Recorded in one single division. 4 franchise champions, y'all. Mexicans were rooting for Devin. The only 2 left are Tank and Ryan. Now the only two left is Lomachenko and Javante. Tanking on Lomachenko. That's the only 2 left. Man, if you don't think for one second that Devin will go in there and goddamn have Ryan Garcia talking about post-fight, I like to thank everybody who came out, but this is my last fight for quite some time. As you know, I did commercials with Damian Lillard, and I'm just gonna pursue my silver screen acting career in Hollywood. I want to thank everyone who followed me on IG. If you haven't already did it, go ahead. I really want more followers for real. I have like 9 million right now, but yeah, I need more. And I'm just gonna go to Hollywood for a minute. Take my mind because mentally, I'm just drained. I'm drained. You didn't see 100% of me tonight. You know, in my life, I've never been dropped 3 times, and by a guy who they say they don't have power. That's gonna be Ryan shit right there. Ryan is all. Oh my God, Ryan is turning into the biggest. Look, Ryan is turning into a bigger clown than Cambozo, dog. Ryan Garcia is turning into the biggest clown. This man not only ducked multiple fighters, this dude bets 20 stacks. He loses $20,000 off a handshake on a fighter that used to follow him to fights and talk shit about him all from sparring. So I would never do some shit like that. Never, bro. He betted 20,000 on Rolly, who didn't give him no respect, man. Used to follow him around and say, fight me. Done call Ryan every name in the book, bitch, all that shit. Fight me. And you bet 20,000 on Rolly. What in the fuck are you doing? Then all of a sudden, Ryan is one of the hardest thugs that you ever want to meet. Because when the camera was on him after the fight, he tried to act like I could have sworn he said some shit like, oh man, hey, you keep talking that shit, I'm gonna take off on your ass and da da da. On this white guy who was over there, this young white guy that was over there saying something. He said something about Ryan when Esau Cruz bailed out the fight. He said something to the extent that, pretty much Ryan Garcia is getting takes his own medicine. So he called himself gonna beat the guy ass just because he was talking shit. Then recently, Ryan Garcia goes on a rant that he want to fight Gervonta Davis. He's talking shit to Leonard Ellaby ringside. He's becoming the Blair Flair, but he actually has skills. He's becoming the Blair Flair, dog. And then recently he said it was NyQuil watching Devin Haney. So he has it in for several fighters in his division. Because now he done seen Devin go to the mountaintop, where at one point in time when it came to the Fab Five, people was putting Ryan Garcia in front of Devin Haney, shawty. Now let me get to these chats. I ain't bullshitting. At one point in time, the Fab Five in the lightweight division, Ryan Garcia was above Devin, bro. I wonder what that looked like right now. So he should only fight undefeated fighters, teach. Man, y'all going at it in that chat, dog. Miss say, I'm not criticizing Usyk's run in heavyweight. He had no run. He fought Chisora and Witherspoon. Just saying Tank and Ryan are the last two he needs to prove himself against. You don't think he should fight Lomachenko, teach? You don't think Lomachenko deserves, like you're talking about the former unified champion. He's a 3-weight champion. Like he's sort of the reason why the shit is in such disarray as we know it. Because he chose to petition for the franchise belt. What if he wouldn't have petitioned and he ended up fighting Devin earlier? I mean, it could have been different. And then check this out, Teach, because I knew a lot of shit that was going on lightweight before it actually played out, right? Teofimo Lopez, as y'all already heard back in the day, they was gonna have a WBC tournament. And it was all this rah-rah about the tournament you know, having T.O. and Devin in and all this other shit, and Lomachenko to get the Lomachenko. But that fell apart because Lomachenko pulled a zip card. You know, he jumped out the hatch, pulled the cord, goddamn parachuted out that bitch. Gone. So that crumbled to the point where Devin Haney decided to stay there. But back in ground zero, word was all that shit was taking place. The tournament was crumbling, but they didn't let the public know this, right? The tournament was crumbling because T.O. was going to go for the WBC. The shit was crumbling. So Team Lopez decided to go and redirect to the IBF route, while Team Haney stayed over there and weathered the storm. That's how it went, people. When I say the storm became the Lomachenko won the vacant WBC title with Luke Campbell, and he decided to then request and petition for franchise. So he wouldn't have no mandatories. That's exactly why the WBC shit fell and burned to the ground. And then, like the Phoenix, Devin had to stay in that motherfucker, take the criticism of how he received his belts, continue to fight until he got the opportunity to stand on top of the hill, and that's where we at now. No doubt, I'm just not with that. I don't know about Haney out the mud shit. I said, especially if you gonna consider privileged Jews like Usyk as out the mud, you forcing some punk ass narrative on Haney. The silver spoon Bill provided wasn't able to get those guys in the ring for Haney. He had to take one of those worst deals to get it done. That's super uber facts. Now, doubt, man, that's a fireball right there, bro. You misinterpreted when I said out the mud. I was specifically talking about Tank. And that's how he grew up as a child to become a PVV star. Absolutely. Questioning anyone else out the mud. Yeah, I agree with that. He did come out the motherfucking grind, the grit. But that shit Mitch just said, no matter what silver spoon people say Bill was supplying Devin, it still wasn't enough for him to have influence in this boxing game for them not to damn treat the title that he had like it wasn't shit. Like, you actually had lives out here speaking about vacating the title. Bill heard that shit. Bill heard when they was talking about vacate the title, vacate. If they treating you like shit, vacate. And look, they held their motherfucking ground. They held their motherfucking ground, dog. That shit's crazy, bro. Damn, they held their square, bro. They held their motherfucking square. They held their square, man. All the damn exterior derogatory shit, the disrespect that was coming with naming the belt Pride belt and all this other, not really identifying his belt as having any value. They held their ground, man. People have to acknowledge that. Whether you like them or not, you have to acknowledge, if you're mature enough, you have to acknowledge they held their square. Not only did they have a square, they had to go through some performances with some opponents. Like, they was like, I don't know about that. And they were still fighting for respect in this boxing shit. They were still fighting for respect, bro. With the name Haney, they was fighting for respect. Regardless, they was fighting for respect. Every time they stepped in the ring, they was not just fighting their opponent, but they was fighting for respect. But last night, it just seems like they hit a whole nother cloud, man. Like, man, you can see it with Bill coming over there late, being able to join the team. It just seemed like they hit a whole nother cloud, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. They was on a whole nother cloud, man. It was a wrap. Y'all still going at it, dog. Y'all still going at it for real. Logic, always enjoy your input on the sport. Keep up the great work. Yeah, appreciate you, Logic, for pulling up always, brother. No doubt. Continue to pull up. Ron a whole goofy, but it don't got nothing to do with what happens in the ring, and that goes for all fighters. Yeah, Ron has situations going on, but look, if he's inserting himself into narratives, active narratives in boxing, right? And he's trying to be important by talking his way into a fight, it may work. It may work because look how it played out for him now. When Devin Haney was in the ring with him, like I said earlier, he's Devin's my boy, but I want to call out Javante. I was like, what? You don't even want to get you don't even want to fight the champ? Damn, that's fucked up. He didn't even want to fight Devin. He said, talk to my attorneys. So now you want to come back around and say it was like NyQuil. So he should just give you a fight now? Like, really, he should give you a shot. Just because you've been talking that shit, he should give you a shot now, all because you're going around here acting like you Blair the Flair. He should give you a shot. You arguing with Leonard Ellaby on camera. You criticizing Haney's performance. Bro, what is going on with you, man? What is going on with damn Ryan Garcia? Somebody need to goddamn manage him because his little brother ain't doing shit for him except weighing his money. Shouts to Dame Dollar for flying all the way to Australia. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. You know Dame got the dollars. You know Dame Dollar got the dollars, man. You know he got that. That was nothing for him, man. Norman had good momentum going from the last two performances. What? Say one more again. The velocity. Would you say one more again? Loma had good momentum. So let me correct. Let me get this straight, right? Let me get this straight, right? Right. Okay, so Loma fights Nakatani. It fights Nakatani, who got a serious beating from Tio, and then went life and limb with Felix Verdejo, who's currently on trial for murder, and then gets in there and gets stopped by Lomachenko, who's not a power puncher. Do you think Nakatani was already damaged, bro? Do you think he was already damaged? And then not only that, Teofimo Lopez stops Richard Comey in 2. But Lomachenko gets all theatrical at the Garden. Stop the fight. I mean, come on, that's your boy, man. Richard Comey's your boy. And I understand that Lomachenko didn't want him to take punishment. But dude, I don't know about that performance shit you talking. Like I don't know if if Comey was there 100% to dominate like he did Jackson Marinez. Because you look at it, Jackson Marinez and Lomachenko are both boxers. He stopped Jackson Marinez in 6, dog. And you trying to tell me Lomachenko possesses all this power? Like where, dog? Where? He went 12 rounds with freaking Tio, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know, bro. Real talk. I just people love giving Lomachenko them headlights, man. You so eager to try to dilute what Haney did. It's bleeding out of you. Stop leaving that filth in the chat. Oh shit, man. I know y'all still got love. No narrative. I know the truth hurts, my boy. Hit him with the you get. If you specifically was talking about Tank, and why ever mention Haney? You came in on some clown shit. That shit don't ride today. Now after what Haney did last night, sucker shit ain't acceptable today. Yeah, you can't be talking about how he got it out got it out of the closet. The motherfucker had a Versace roll in the closet and he wasn't even 10 years old. Yeah, I mean, come on, bro. Like, Dolly, you have to accept that shit, man. Like, man, you can't sit up here and say anything about the mud. Even though I told you I can relate to Tank more than I can Haney. Seriously, that's what I can relate to. But you being much older now, you should be able to understand, like, if you really look at boxing from a metric of competition, then why would you even be talking about the beginnings? What does that have to do with now, though? So if a fighter came into the game and they really didn't have to struggle, they came into the game, they didn't have to struggle much. If they are competing in a one-on-one sport, mano a mano, right? And they're winning, and they're going in there giving you your face value, you're not going to respect them a thou wow just because they didn't get it out the mud? Like, everything shouldn't be about the struggle. Real talk. Like, I see people putting shit on Facebook and IG all the time, Twitter. Come out. I don't want to sit at your table. I'm building my own. They always, and that's not that bad. I just use that because everybody posted on TikTok. But everybody want to talk about if someone's not building you up, then you should exclude them from something. They have something to deal with struggle first. If someone's stepping on your neck, then you should understand how you're unable to stand up, that they're holding you down or something like that. Why everything got to be based off struggle? It's some shit out here we can look at this based off positivity. We don't have to worry about people stepping on our neck, stepping on your feet. You hear people say, "Don't tell people your dreams because your dreams might not be their dream." You know what I'm saying? I mean, man, you got to get in how you fit in. No, it's all good, man. We just talking, man. I'm not taking you or King Mitch side. I'm just reading the chat, dog. That's all. I'm just reading y'all talking. But let me see what's his name had to say right quick. And y'all hit the like button if you're in the building. So Ryan Garcia texts Javante while Devin Haney was fighting, and he said, "You watching this stuff? When we fight, don't let it be like this boring." Tank Davis replies, "Shut the fuck up." You look on Twitter, that's out there, right? Which it's just like that shit is hilarious, man. Like, Tank said, "Shut the fuck up, dog." I mean, that's almost like, man, your little brother, man. Damn, your brother keep popping up in your chat, letting everybody know he your little brother, and you trying to tell him to shut the fuck up. Like, dude, stop doing it. You doing too much. Then Ryan say, "Oh yeah, you say shut the fuck up, but you were screaming, 'I'm next.'" See what I told you earlier? That's what happened when people. That's why we got a bad habit of people saying clout chasing, because Ryan Garcia is now remembering what I just mentioned earlier. He said, "Oh yeah, you say shut the fuck up, but you were screaming, 'I'm next.' You should want the fight. Don't trip. Your disrespect will be addressed. Promise you that, bitch." Okay, Ryan trying to talk his shit and build up social media, but see, there's a difference right there. We totally understand how Tank get down. We're not understanding what's going on with Ryan. Ryan's on some other shit. We know how Tank get down. We know that's official. But this Ryan Garcia shit, we don't know if it has a lot to do with him not going to see his psychologist. I'm not being disrespectful, bro, because once you come on here and you use the mental illness shit and you feel like you want people to show you empathy and shit like that, then it's free game for us to use it. Because you on here calling another person bitch like your boy Rolly, And both of y'all might potentially wind up the same way. In the locker room, post fight, shedding tears. Real talk, Ryan. You being real goofy out here trying to be a thug and all that when you in Hollywood, dog. You doing commercials with Damian Lillard, bro. Come on, Ryan. Stop, bro. You doing commercials with Damian. You and Damian ain't boys like that. He was out there in Australia to support Tank. And now you talking shit that the Tank, you might never get another commercial with Damian. Shit, man. Ryan Garcia said congrats to Haney, but it was definitely just a bland fight. Always, I'll just say, you know who I want out the Fortuna. Let them have their rematch. Absolutely NyQuil type of performance. That's what Ryan Garcia left on Twitter. This dude have the audacity to talk about performances when he just came off Emmanuel Tago. Like, were you expecting to go in there and wash him like Fonseca? I mean, come on, Ryan. Come on now. How I get killed is what I said is the truth. Shout out to Sir Senior on deck. What's good? He said Ryan needs special needs, man. I'm telling you, man, they don't want us to talk about mental health like that. But you know, Ryan, man, when he was talking about mental health, man, he was on the beach with with his girl and shit. But anyway, I gotta address Rolly right quick. Rolly, man, they were showing the behind the scenes on Showtime. They put together a nice little piece, man. Check it out on YouTube. And they showed Rolly once he was in the dressing room, he was hugging his niece and everything. I really don't dog the kids at all. None of that. But I really think Rolly is absolutely not all there. Rolly is not an emotional type dude. Seriously. Rolly isn't that dude. He's not an emotional type dude. He isn't all there. I believe Rolly really has a mean streak to him. Seriously. Rolly has a mean streak to him. But yet he's able to come off like he's all carefree and jovial when he has that other side to him. The reason why I say that is that, he was back there with his family, and he was sitting down. He had already been knocked out. His dad looked like he don't fucking play. And it was a girl next to him. I don't know if that was his girl, whatever, his sister. I don't know. But she was crying with him. Rolly wasn't crying, though. I couldn't see him bawling crying. He's not that dude. He wasn't crying. None of that. But when he came out to the post-fight conference, though, and said what he said, to I beat his ass all 6 rounds, that's a dude that really don't give a fuck, dog. When you seen Rolly walking out to the ring and he was looking around, it was almost like you're taking your kid to Chuck E. Cheese for the first time, bro. And they see all these people in animal costumes coming out, and they all jumping around, and they all, oh wow, what? Oh shit! They see all these games and all the music playing, and Rolly was looking around. It's like, damn, it's packed up in this motherfucker. Wow, that's what it's like. Oh wow, So then he gets up in the ring, and he just started going crazy. Jitters, like he was on a whole nother level of psych, man. Like Rolly, he was bouncing off the ropes and moving around and shit. Rolly's a different dude, man. He wasn't ready for that moment. Rolly wasn't ready for that moment at the Barclays. But then, look, what's fucked up, I say that, and he starts the round all calm. He actually fought those 5 rounds pretty damn calm. That's the weird part. That's why I say Rolly ain't nothing to play with. Rolly ain't nothing to play with, dog. This dude goes through emotions. Rolly goes through emotions, man. him being knocked out the way he did, and go to the post-fight conference after being right there shedding tears, his family shedding tears for him, and then to get up there and say what he said, he beat his ass for 6 rounds, and the only rematch I want is Tank. That nigga don't care. He don't give a fuck, man. Rolly is that dude. Like, he don't give a fuck, dog. That dude walked out like a little baby. He got in the ring. He switched into another personality. Like, I'm ready. I'm good. You would have thought Rolly was the champion without no belts. And then he starts out, he convinced some of the gullible that he was gonna knock him out in one round. He never had no intentions of doing that shit. But I would give him a bit more toughness than a lot of other people because he got up from Gervonta's shot. Gervonta cracked him, man. Gervonta dropped that cinder block on his forehead. He went into the ropes, leaned over and shit. His legs started twitching. I'm telling you, bro. Rolly, I don't know, man, how long you got in this sport, bro. I don't know what he's going to do as a second job. But they really need to start considering that. If Gervonta didn't hit you full force and your left leg was twitching the way it was, I'm pretty sure you can still box, but I don't know, man. His trainer said he's 90%. He can box better than 90% of the boxers in the sport. That's what Bully said. Bully said he can box 90% of the other boxers. And then I have other people saying that Rolly beats everybody outside of Tank. He says they're up there saying Rolly beats everybody outside of Tank. That's what they said at 35. All right. Don't say I ain't tell you. W says, hear me out. I had to hear everyone else criticize Canelo undisputed run, but now I do it and I'm a hater. I ain't call you a hater. I'm just saying if you're bringing up Abdulayev and Santiago, that's hating. There's a lot to criticize Canelo about. Okay? There's a lot to criticize Canelo about. But one thing I won't spend too much time on, I was just disappointed about the way Callum Smith just stood there like he was in the mannequin challenge and then put forth a fight. And then Billy Joe Sanders went out like a punk. And then Caleb Plant wanted to have a conversation, man. That shit was just all weird. It seems like they was intimidated by Canelo. But I don't have too much to say about that. He did what he did. He selectively chose when David Benavidez lost his title. I'm going to go for undisputed. And he got it done. Nobody stopped him. But I'm gonna tell you for real, whatever you feel about Haney, that's you, man. I just don't take too much emphasis in what he was able to accomplish last night and talk about him getting it out the mud. Because if you think he's gonna go to a Red Roof Inn, where he at now is a unified undisputed champion, just because he want to feel like it's, oh man, I need to get it from the mud. I heard these dudes talking. I want to know what it's like to go to a Red Roof Inn and take a shower in this dirty ass motherfucking tub and walk in this dirty ass filthy carpet and lay on these dirty ass filthy sheets. You sadly mistaken. That ain't fucking happening, bro. Velocity say Rolly speaks Martian. And you know what? That is a big part. That's Rolly, goddamn. Rolly does speak Martian, dog. Rolly looked good until he got knocked out. Hey, man, people need to understand it's a sweet science, bro. Like, I don't know what you mean by look good. I don't look at combat like that. I always look for, like, how many rounds and what are you going to do from the time it starts to the time it finishes? What type of, strategy do you have? I don't know about looking good because I can't say Rolly was looking good when I didn't think Tank had turned on the gas yet. Tank started to turn on the gas in the 4th and 5th round. He wasn't really he said it himself. He got hit early and he's just gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna break him down later. So I didn't look at that's my perspective. That's how I itemize shit psychologically. I didn't think Rolly was looking good per se when Tank really wasn't on the gas like that. If Tank would have been on the gas and we got that Angelo Leo, Stephen Fulton shit out the gate, we got that damn Canelo Alvarez, Dimitri Bivol out the gate, then I could say, okay, he was handling his own, dog. He was handling his own. Rolly looked good in there for the experience, the lack of experience. Rolly looked good. But Rolly was in there with Tank. And, his best rounds were the second and the third. And I just felt that Tank hadn't really started to power up yet. He really haven't started to get busy. That's just me, man. Real talk. Rolly left leg was in dream trying to start that old ass motorcycle. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? That motherfucker was trying to kickstart that moped, wasn't it? I want to get out of here, Dad. Come get me. I'm take me down to the road, Dad. Please get me, Dad. Please. Come help me out the road, Dad. Man. God damn it. What happened? What did he hit me with? Was it legal? Did he need me? What did he do? Did he have some in his gloves? Did you see it flapping? What was it, Dad? Did he hit me with the bucket? God damn it. Does that mean the fight's over? Oh, shit. Let's go in the room. Do I have to do the post fight? Yeah, you do, Rolly. Oh, shit. God damn it. Rolly was up there just trying to get out of everything. Came in there with an attitude. Man, unfortunately, the fight fans, we don't want to see that. So really, the only fight I would like to see Rolly in, put him in there with Esau Cruz. Your ass get knocked out by Esau Cruz, dude. You really should reconsider a second career. Put him in there with Esau Cruz. Put him in there with Nakathila. Put him in there with a common opponent, Jojo Diaz. Something. You know what I'm saying? Put him in there with a common opponent. Esau Cruz should be thinking he's above fighting a Rolly Romero because he just came into the scene. Just because you went the distance and losing effort with Tank, cool. But you one fight away from picking up your second L too, dog. I like Esau Cruz too, but you have one gear and you very one-dimensional. And all it takes is somebody that knows how to stick a jab and feed you that shit, just like Haney was doing to Cambozo. And you're gonna find out what appetizers really like. They're gonna pop, pop, pop. How that taste to you? It needs some more salt on it. Hey, put some salt on the end of this glove. They're gonna feed you what you want. You keep on coming in there, sending the overhand right, being one-dimensional, and you're not really a super power puncher like that. I don't know. It's only a matter of time before you pick up a second L, man. Real talk. Boxer section TBS, salute to you, bro. What's good? But man, that's what it is with me, man. Been on here for 2 hours already. But yeah, man, I'm about to jump up out this cap. All y'all that pulled up, man. Thanks for the energy as always. You know what I'm saying? Keep that energy right. Sub to the channel. Need to get the damn subs up, people. You know what I'm saying? Check out the article I just wrote at worldcombatsports.com. Shout out to Team Williams. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, he's in Police Academy. Hope you're doing well over there. Jahad Tucker is on deck next week. Shout out to Team Tucker, man. Over there, Showtime, the entire squad, Coach Tucker, over there in NYC, man. Shout out to them, getting that work in. Molly, I gotta say shout out to Molly too. He out there getting that work. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give a shout out to him too, bro. And then the fighters in the ATL. I gotta give a shout out to Mac Truck, man. Mac Truck has made moves. Him and Coach Mustafa, got ranked in the WBA. So he just put out some, sparring picks, with Jarrell Miller, and also he put out a pick with what was the other guy he just put a pick out with? It was some good picks, man. He has a fight coming up in Miami. So, shout out to Dakari Scott, man, Mac Truck down here out of Grindhouse, Coach Mustafa. If you don't know, follow Coach Mustafa, man. He really has a huge following right now. From where he came from, the way he is now, he has a huge following down here in Decatur. Seriously, so check out Mac Truck, man. And I know Snipe, you just had a fight. Salute to you for the win. Um, Shout out to Brian Norman Jr. down this camp. Everybody's down here. My boy Carlos King Dynamite. Yeah, man. It's another fight down here. I haven't met him though, DeAndre. I think DeAndre Smith. He gonna be fighting Jahad Tucker. You know, I. s- he's probably getting ready for his fight. Definitely. You know, but yeah, y'all hold it down, man. Continue to support the channel as always. Turn up and tune in. The World Combat Sports. I'm out.